I'm mostly just making sure that your little dance got caught on camera. Hi, welcome to Bias Bros. That's the intro now. I made you do it anyways, asshole.
That's kind of it's given me some like I never know when we actually go up because you're the one controlling it all on your end.
Yeah.
So I'm just like I want to give them something to watch while so they're not just watching us play with a computer.
Right.
So I'm not you, Alexa. You calm your jets.
That's amazing. Thanks for this. Thanks for this moment. How much that's gonna pick up on the mic on your end?
It's picking up something, so it heard it.
Good. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
That's the problem with renaming. Like, I can say Alexa all I want. How often does the word Alexa come up in conversation? You change it to computer. Yeah, there it goes. It lights up. The costs of being a nerd.
We used to watch that show, The 100, and there was a character named Lexa.
Yeah.
And it used to go off all the goddamn time. And it would go like, I don't know what you're talking about. It's going, no one's talking to you, Alexa.
Did I ever tell you when I was so I have it set to and I was watching Star Trek The Next Generation.
Oh God.
Oh my goodness. She woke up every 10 seconds because they're always talking to the and most of the time it was actually let's see if this gets picked up. Hold on. Most of the time it was like, oh, I don't understand the question, or I'm not sure, normal stuff. But every once in a while they would say something that she would respond to, and it gave me some pure gold. For example, in one particular episode, Data asks, like, he's trying to find Captain Picard. So he says, computer, locate Captain Picard.
Captain Picard is not aboard the Enterprise.
Wow.
Isn't that cool?
Wow.
I lost track of what was happening in the show because I was laughing so damn hard.
Hi, welcome to Bias Bros, the show where two bros talk about movies and film and Alexa, apparently. With
that's a
me,
thing
as
now.
Always, my brother Jay, one of the people on Earth who believe that they should use extra letters to spell one letter.
Well, sometimes. I mean, B is spelled B-E and B-E-E.
I know. Or B. Arthur, it's B-E-A.
That's true. That's true, too.
Yeah.
There's so many ways to spell B.
You know what's shitty is English.
Yeah, it's true.
My wife and I were talking the other day, we're like, you know what else is shitty is the imperial system. Good fucking lord, does it not make a goddamn bit of sense.
I'm not sure what the imperial system is. What's the imperial system?
Feet, miles.
Oh, sorry. I thought we were still talking about language. Yeah, totally. Like
does not work.
Well, it does, man. Or what is it? I'm sorry, I'm thinking of metric.
Metric works.
Yeah, metric makes sense. Imperial is our system. Yep. I'm all caught up now.
Yep.
Yeah, I need more coffee, man. Apparently. I need to just down a pot before we start doing these shows.
Shouldn't drink caffeine that late.
I know,
caffeine
but
addicts. It's like the one drug that everybody seems to be fine with the fact that they are slavishly addicted to it.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's true.
Like most of the population.
And it's just it's a joke. It's a joke. Everybody's like, "Oh man, I'm so addicted to coffee. Hey, I'm gonna go see my crack addict to Starbucks." like
marijuana is a gateway drug. Oh look, Starbucks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We know, we get it, but it's a big old joke, like anxiety and depression.
Yay!
Because we all are, and it's just this is how we live our lives now. Yep. Isn't it fun?
I don't. That's just because I'm better than the rest of you. Okay.
Oh, you die.
Speaking of, what a horrible transition.
So speaking of transitions,
today had some rather unfortunate news for I feel like a lot of our audience won't be aware of, but know that this is not a small thing. This has a very, 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 very large audience. To the point where I actually saw memorials being held in some video games and stuff because those games are so heavily based off of his work.
Yeah.
But the creator of the beloved manga and anime series Berserk passed away very early. He was only 54, I believe.
He was young. That's not young, but I mean that's not old either.
Aortic dissection, and apparently there is there was a trend of this in Japan.
Is it really?
I think they call them Mangeku. Fuck me for not knowing the terms, but like the dudes who write and draw manga tend to work themselves to death.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Because most of these guys are writing and drawing the series, releasing regularly. Like, they are just under hellish circumstances to get this stuff out as quick as their audience wants to consume it. And for anybody who's not familiar, manga are thick.
Oh, yeah. It's not an American comic book. They're full-on graphic novels.
Yes, and they are very detailed, and
how many Berserk mangas did he release? Like 45, 50, something like that?
I believe it was 40 was the final one that came out. They said he was nowhere near done with the series. And with his passing, they're not planning on hiring somebody else to finish it. That was his baby. He'd been working on it since the 80s. The most recent one actually just came out recently. I think it's Dark Horse picked up the rights to publish the American versions of it in like 2018, fairly recently. And yeah, and actually Sean, friend of the show, my best friend, obsessed with it out of nowhere. Sean, who is not a manga fan, not an anime fan, and just sort of fell in love with it out of nowhere. A lot of
he's
stuff
into kind of like random stuff for no reason.
Yeah, it just sort of bubbles up when it does.
For sure.
You know, the Dark Souls community, the Final Fantasy community, a lot of these like really dark horror, oversized blade kind of stuff, it really all comes out of Berserk. So, yeah, a lot of those online communities were holding like vigils for the dude, and
that's awesome.
You know, I both love and hate that they're not going to continue the story, because I really hate seeing a story not get an ending, and he very clearly had something he was working towards. So it's very sad, and in honor of that, we're going to do our top 5 unfinished works, things that for whatever reason are not going to get an ending. Yeah, I don't know how much, I don't really have much to say after that. So, I have images queued up for all of mine. Do you mind if I go first?
You know what?
Are you suddenly worried that our whole list crosses over?
No, I'm suddenly realizing that I did the exact wrong thing. I did bad endings.
Not what we were doing.
No, it isn't. And I screwed it up entirely. How did I manage that?
Do you want to work a list while I go through my list?
Yeah, let me see if I can whip one out really quick. You go ahead. I'm going to
go through my list slow. You just listen. And then, don't pick any of the stuff that I'm about to pick.
No, I won't. I will do my best. You'll probably pick them all off as I find them one by one.
Yeah, as you're selecting them. Okay. First one is probably not going to be on your list. It was a very short-lived comic series. I want to say it's 2 volumes. I have it on my shelf here. Yeah, 2 volumes, and that's all it does. And then it is unceremoniously canceled. It is called Lullaby. It was through... Let me get the production company for you really quick. Oh my god, I just saw it. Now I can't find it on my shelf. There it is. Alias. Alias Comics... very briefly released a series called Lullaby, which was...
Oh, yeah!
Yeah, and I really like this. Oh, wow, I'm just now realizing I never changed the title for our stream. I'm gonna do that.
Welcome to Bias Bros. We're organized.
Don't worry, we'll fix it in post.
We'll fix it in post!
Yeah, we'll fix it in post. We will fix this, maybe. There we go. Yeah, so that's good. It's got a new title now. We're good. So I want to get the cast of this correct, because it's been a hot minute since I've read it. I'm really looking forward to rereading it. But what Lullaby was sort of, what's that awful, unwatchable show where all the fantasy characters come together? My wife loves it.
Oh, you don't like Once Upon a Time.
That's that pile of
I like the first couple seasons of Once Upon a Time, and then they got yeah,
they all cry a lot. So this is like that, but better, and done way, way, way before. Like, we were reading this shit like right after we graduated, I think, is when we started picking this up. So
yeah.
like early 2000s. Around then is when this came out. But it's Alice from Alice in Wonderland, Red Riding Hood, the Pied Piper, the Cheshire Cat, Jim Hawkins, who is from Treasure Island, in case anyone doesn't know, and Pinocchio are all on an adventure together. And it does introduce some other characters. There is, and again, fuck me for not knowing the name, but they do introduce a Japanese folklore character.
Okay, which one?
He's like a trickster fox.
Like a kitsune?
It might, but I think it was a specific named thing because it had a name. I'm not 100%. They introduced the Three Musketeers, but what I love is D'Artagnan. Like this does takes on it, right? So like Jim Hawkins has this living sword that's a shark. Red Riding Hood turns into a giant werewolf. Pinocchio is like living wood. The Pied Piper has a magic pipe. Alice can summon her sword that is a flamingo and all this stuff. Like it's super fun,
That's
super
awesome.
dope. But my favorite take was the Three Musketeers take, where D'Artagnan was the soul keeper who had captured the souls of the Three Musketeers into their swords, and now their swords surround him and fight on his behalf against their will.
That's kind of fun.
It was such a good series. It did not get to finish its storyline.
That's
a
drag.
Just dropped. Let me credit the artist really here if I can, or the artist and the writer, if I can find it. I'm just kind of doing a quick fandom poll. Creative team: Hector Sevilla and Mike S. Miller. Written by Mike S. Miller and Ben Avery. Art was by Hector Silva. Colors Ulysses. I think his name is Areola, and I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Then Joko Santico, and then lettering by Bill Tortellini. Feel like some of these names had to be made up. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, just like a really fun series with like a lot of fun takes on the different characters. Yeah, like just, I guess not a whole lot to say. It really should have been a lot longer. Apparently, I didn't know this. There was a small spinoff called Lullaby Wisdom Seeker. Just
fun.
does 4 issues. I wonder if I could hunt that down in a trade if it was ever released. Yeah, if you ever get the chance, though, check out the 2 volumes that exist.
I remember
super fun series.
I remember when that came out, and I was really, really intrigued and really interested, kind of in the way that I was intrigued with Once Upon a Time. Like, I like that whole, let's take all these stories, mash them into one universe, and justify it kind of a thing.
You're ruining it. Go on.
No. Because they both kind of do the same thing with different tones. And, my problem with Once Upon a Time was they went to Disney with it. Like, when it started out
owned by Disney.
I know, I understand that. It was, I think, an AMC show or whatever station is owned by Disney that's not Disney. The first season, all the backstories and all the history of each character leans more heavily on the actual mythos and like the original like Grimm stories from the characters. And then as they go on with the show, they pull more heavily from Disney than from the source material.
Sure.
So like then it starts to like, okay, whatever, let's put Mulan in the show. Why not? Oh, let's do Elsa, because that's popular now. But like they started out with some really fun, like deep cut pulls.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I couldn't watch it.
No,
all right.
It.
So next up on my list, this is the one I'm going to take heat for. If we had a comment section, this is where it would be on fire.
Okay.
The Green Lantern movie. Hear me out.
Yeah, I almost put that. I didn't, but I almost did.
And for the audience, hear me out. So I'm already on record not calling it a good movie. I am by no means trying to convince anyone or sway anyone. By no means is this a good film.
Right.
But is it the abysmal pile of dog shit that people pretend like it is? No, it's not a good movie, but it's not It's not terrible.
It was just
fine.
lazy. It was a little lazy. But what it did, it set up for an awesome sequel.
Yes, which we never got.
Right. I would have loved to see Green Lantern versus Sinestro.
Yeah, and the dude I can't remember his name. The dude they had playing Sinestro.
Perfect.
Let me get his name really quick.
Yeah,
Green
it doesn't
Lantern film. But yeah, no, the movie is. The movie is what it is, but that doesn't mean it wasn't recoverable. And I think with a sequel, it actually really could have corrected a lot of its mistakes, pulled things together, and made it happen. Mark Strong as Sinestro.
Yes.
He
Great
goes on
actor.
to be the villain in Shazam. He's Dr.
Oh,
Sivana.
is he really?
Yeah, he's Dr.
Fun.
Sivana in Shazam.
I don't remember that, but okay. I loved Shazam. I just don't remember who the villain was.
Yeah.
He was also he plays a really good villain. Like, he knows what he's doing. And he was in Stardust. Did you see that one?
Yeah.
Oh, he killed it in that one.
Yeah, but Green Lantern, and you nailed on what it was. I really wanted to see, because it seemed like they weren't even just building towards Sinestro. They were building towards the Sinestro core.
Absolutely.
How cool would it have been to get to see, like, a big Green Lantern fight, and what a great way to expand that Green Lantern universe and give us a little more. Sure, we had Kilowog, but we could have opened up with him training Kyle, or training John, or training Guy, introduced them on the planet. We could have met Tomar Ray and some of the other really cool Lanterns who are waiting in the rings, and as we're getting to learn about this group of Lanterns, meanwhile building in the background is the super cool Sinestro Corps building up, ready to do fucking evil. This could have been such a good movie, and people just trashed what was there. And look, I'm not saying it deserves a higher rating.
No.
But it wasn't that bad. Was the costume shit? Yes. Is that fixable? Yep. Was the plotline kind of convoluted and dumb? Yeah. Again, different sequel. Different movie entirely. There's plenty of time. Like Reynolds wasn't bad. Carol Ferris, Blake Lively, wasn't bad.
No, she was fine.
Nobody in this movie is doing a terrible job other than the
really
guy who's rendering the CG.
The CG was lame. It wasn't terrible, but it was lame. It was weak. It was weak. But my biggest problem, and I've said this on the show before, was the writing. It was it was too formulaic. It was lazy. You know, they could have put a little bit more effort into it and not have you fight a big fucking smoke monster at the end of the movie.
Yep.
Like, that it was a kind of a letdown.
Yeah.
But everything else, the performances were great. The dude that played was his name Marcus, the guy that who like is infected by
Hector,
thank you. Yeah.
Peter Sarsgaard played him.
Peter Sarsgaard. I mean, he's a Sarsgaard, so of course. But like, he rocked it.
Yeah.
Everybody was fine.
Yeah.
It was just those damn writers.
Yeah. And even then, like, it wasn't the worst film I've ever seen. It's better than The Room.
And yet people love that movie.
Right.
Yeah, it's just not.
I own Green Lantern, and I'm not sorry about that.
Yeah,
I'm not sorry about that. It's a fun film. Blam. Take that. Okay.
Take that.
So the next three on my list, I think... Oh, no, they're not all Netflix. But the next three on my list are all shows. Okay?
Okay.
So this one hurt a lot. Glow was canceled, and I was really enjoying Glow. Glow stands for the Glorious Ladies of Wrestling. Glamorous.
Oh, yeah. That was a Netflix show, right?
Netflix show with I always fuck these up because there's Brie Larson, who is not this one. That's Captain Marvel. This is Allison Brie from Community. Annie from Community, and then Mark Maron. Mark Maron from the Mark Maron podcast and stand up and a bunch of other stuff, but Mark Maron plays the manager. And this is the mostly true story, the based on true events story of a real wrestling troupe of women.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, back in the... I'm going to fuck up the timeline. I want to say 70s, but I think that's wrong. It's the 1980s. Okay, I wasn't as
I was
far
going to
off as
say,
I
based
thought.
on what I have seen of it, it definitely looked like it was the 80s.
Yeah, so, but it was a troupe of lady wrestlers in the 80s, but, like, they were in control. They were owning and writing and running their version of the WWE or WCW. It was called Glow.
Nice.
Glorious or glamorous, I forget what the G is, ladies of wrestling. And it's just really cool to watch them build this and everything that happens, and then... Man, they were setting up for season 4. They had, like, just signed this big deal, and one of their big acts was gonna walk, and, like, all this stuff was gonna happen, and the show just had the plug pulled.
That's a drag. That's a drag.
You know, Netflix really seems to be in for 3 seasons. And as much as I hate to say it, because good shows have planned for 3 and fought for more and gotten it from Netflix, like
sure,
Dragon
like
Prince.
It happens.
Dragon Prince is great. They really fought, and the fans really came out and rallied behind that show. I was one of them. And got it to do it's. They got signed not even for a number of seasons. They got signed to finish their story.
Oh, good.
They're going to get to tell the story.
Good. That's awesome.
And unfortunately, Glow is not going to get to do that. Netflix, they really like that 3. If you can do 1 season, you can get 3 out of them. But honestly,
there's no guarantee
I feel like more things that are writing for Netflix, you need to plan for 1, hope for 3, and call it good there. That's going to be the best way to please your audience. Because those Netflix does not release numbers, they don't do any of that, but man, disappoint. Like, fans of the OA know what I'm talking about. I haven't seen the show, and I won't start it, because I'm told the OA, I think it's called OA, but it might be the OA. I don't know.
We know what you're talking about.
It does 1 season and gets very unceremoniously canceled with nothing being resolved at all. You know, I don't want to go through that. I'm not going to put myself into that position. Glow at least has a great run. I'm really sad it got canceled. I really wish it could have at least gotten an ending.
Right.
But it is what it is.
But would you rather a show just stop where it is or get a slapped together ending?
No, I think if anything, Gravity Falls proves ending while you're on top is better. Because the fans are demanding more Gravity Falls, and he's in control of whether that happens or not. They're there at the ready with their dollars in hand for more, but he made the choice at the top of the market to end after only 2 seasons, because he's like, that's the story, man. That's the story I was trying to tell. I told it. I'm done. Letting it fizzle out and become something bad and gross, it's not worth it.
Okay.
I'm all about the art, man. You gotta fucking... As much as I hate Rian Johnson, I guess credit to him for sticking to his guns. His guns were blatantly misguided and honestly insulting as a fan of the series that he ruined. But...
Wait, which one?
That's Star Wars Episode 8.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I really do not like Rian Johnson's film. And while I'm doing it with my comics, we've talked about it on here before, I have this one I'm working on. There's a thing that every single person who reviews it goes, I hate this. But I'm sticking to it because I believe it's the right call, and sometimes it has to happen, but, you know, he did it wrong. It also can be wrong, and he just was wrong. Yeah, unfortunate about Glow. I really like it. I actually do still suggest watching it, because at least it's not 1 season and no unanswered questions. It's 3 seasons and I guess a sort of cliffhanger that can also kind of be an ending. Like, it's not, but it can be. So not the best, not the worst. Watch Glow. Okay. Here's one dude, this cut me deep. I was so fucking curious, and I didn't think I was gonna like the show as much as I did, and I loved it. Hey, change things. There we go. Last Man on Earth. Have you had the chance to see this?
No, I haven't seen this one yet either. What's this one about?
Will Forte and
Oh, I love Will Forte.
What is her? It's one of those ones I fucking know her name and I say it all the time, and now that I have to say her name, it's like immediately left my brain. I'm looking at her face right now. God. It's that girl with the
Can
voice.
you say her face?
It's that girl with the voice, and you'd know her voice. She's in like Bob's Burgers.
Yes.
You know exactly.
I know
Kristen
exactly.
Schaal. God
She was
damn it.
also in Wonder Falls.
Kristen Schaal was in Wonder Falls?
No, I'm sorry, Gravity Falls.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very different show. It's a
very different show. Very
Okay,
different show.
So, Last Man on Earth, it starts off exactly what it sounds like. A super flu comes through, and this dude is surviving. It's the last man on Earth. And yeah,
so it's kind of like I Am Legend or Omega Man or what have you.
But as a TV show.
Okay,
but after
that's
the
fun.
first couple episodes, we slowly start to introduce onesie, twosie people until I think by the end of like season 2 or 3, we've got a group of like 5 that are regulars, and then there's some surprises and things that pop up. But it really is just about like 5 people trying to get along, and like none of them are particularly useful people, because that's not how superflus work. Doesn't give a fuck what your job was. You're just some guy. Yeah, like it's one of those ones, man. There's nothing particularly like this was it, you know? This was the hook. This is what got me in. It's actually even kind of annoying, unlikable characters who are all just selling it. Killer cast.
Nice.
Will Forte, Kristen Schaal, January Jones, Mary Steenburgen, Mel Rodriguez, Will Ferrell has like a stint on the show.
Is it a comedy?
Jason Sudeikis has a stint on the show. It's like
no joke.
It's a dramedy.
Okay.
But maybe more of a comma. Comedy first, drama second.
Okay, I hate the term comma. Don't ever do that again.
I'm gonna do it. But what really killed it was their big ending. I think season 3 or season 4, number of seasons 4. Season 4 ending was this huge. I'm gonna spoil this right now because it doesn't matter. Because
it doesn't
nothing's
end.
going to come from it.
Okay.
So the big, I guess, finale to the show. They're going, they find this area, and they're like, oh man, there's like something here. And a straight up like group of 20, 30 people wearing hazmat suits come out and point guns at them and have like a whole underground society. And that was going to be the lead-in.
Wow.
And unfortunately, like, so since then, Will Forte's been like, look, the show's not coming back, so we'll just tell you it was going to be really fun, because like we set up a lot of times in the show, we'd introduce things only to kind of get rid of it really quick as a big ha-ha on the audience.
Yeah.
And the big thing was going to be they're in hazmat suits because none of these people are immune. And, like, they were just going to very quickly in the first handful of episodes just be killed off as they're exposed to the virus from the people who are themselves immune but still absolutely carry it in their bodies. And then they were all going to be... But, like, at the time, watching that and then seeing it get canceled just shortly after that, it was like, no, clearly this is the point. Like, you can give them one more. You can do one more season.
Right.
One of my favorite dumb running gags, it's like in the first episode, it's the dumbest fucking thing, but I was like, you know what, that's probably what I would do. Is he starts like living in mansions and shitting and pissing into the pools because there's no more running water. And this whole thing is he just moves once it's full because he's
my God.
It stinks. Why would I stay here? Or whenever he's depressed, he just gets like an inflatable kiddie pool and fills it with tequila and then floats around in a pool of tequila with a straw and just drinks his sorrow away. It's so good.
That's funny. I'll have to check this out.
Really fun.
Do you know where it streams?
It was on Hulu. I don't know if it still is, but it was on Hulu.
Well, I'll look and I'll see if I can find it. That sounds fun.
I've taken too much time, and I've got one more and a couple of honorable mentions that I know won't be on your list, so I'm not.
Why don't you save the honorable mentions for the end of all of it? Because I don't. Yeah, I only have 5 on this very rare occasion.
Okay, so the last one, again, it did 1 season on Netflix. It was so good. I'm going to pick up the comic now that I've seen the show. It's called I Am Not Okay With This. I
saw it's on Netflix. They canceled it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. I've been looking forward to seeing this. So if you can, do your best not to spoil it. It's the girl from It.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Okay, if you say so.
And and we slowly start to realize she's psychic.
So that's sort of the thing. This is 90%, 95% teen drama, which, as we all know, is my fucking jam.
For some reason,
yep.
yeah, freaking weirdo.
I can't even explain it. I don't get it, but I love that shit.
Hey, that's fine.
And it's 5% sci-fi horror.
Okay.
Because
that's what I gathered.
Early on, you're kind of introduced to this concept that she might be able to kill people with her mind.
Right.
And then even she's like, well, clearly I'm insane, because that's not a thing.
Yes.
But as the audience, we know that it's absolutely a thing, and we're waiting for answers. And, it gets unceremoniously canceled one season, and unfortunately, like, the biggest... Again, I'm gonna minor spoiler. Like, really, your big ending is that she realizes she's not crazy. Like, she does it on purpose once.
Okay. But it was good though, right?
I'm a big fan of the teen angst drama stuff, and then having this like subtle what the fuck that like there's whole episodes where it doesn't come up. And then something will happen and you go, oh, wait, right, didn't she kill that motherfucker with her brain? Like, it just comes back up for you at weird times. It just worked.
Okay.
I really liked it. I can't believe it got canceled, but it is a comic book. I do want to pick up the comic book.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll give me some more answers, but yeah, killed, gutted. That did not do
That's
more
a
seasons.
shame. That's a shame.
Yeah. That's it. So
all right,
let's pull up some images for you. What do you got first, Mr. Haphazard List?
All right, let's do this one because I already kind of spoiled it because I said the wrong thing. Wonder Falls.
Okay.
Wonder Falls was a lovely show back in the early 2000s.
Same.
It might have been as early as the late 90s, but
same creator as Dead Like Me.
Right, yeah. And it was about a woman who works in the I think it was the gift shop was called Wonder Falls, and it was for
she worked at the gift shop for Niagara Falls.
Niagara Falls, right. Yeah. And the little knickknacks and paraphernalia in her gift shop would tell her that people were about to become injured, or just tell her to do things because she is supposed to help them. And she would listen to these knickknacks or not, and then suffer the consequences. And it was her trying to figure out why am I hearing these voices, and whether or not she should run along, and then what happens when she disobeys. What kind of chain of events end up spiraling out of control because she wasn't where she was told to be. Right. And it was very quirky, and so much fun.
Is the other show on your list?
Dead Like Me?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Of course.
Yeah, so you blew it for me, so thanks.
Well, so what I was going to say is, and now we can just say, both of them, this creator got screwed twice because both shows get kneecapped.
Yeah, they were very original, very quirky, a lot of fun. The characters were, I don't want to say relatable, but you loved them. Yeah. Because they were quirky. Quirky is the best way to describe his shows. Wonder Falls was great. From what I understand, the first season of season 2 would have been her being checked into a mental institution because who hears craziness, the knickknacks aren't supposed to talk to you. But so that was supposed to have been the beginning of the second season. And then Dead Like Me, I don't remember if it got 2 seasons or if it got 1 season in a spin-off movie.
It did, and the movie was a little disappointing.
I never watched it because everybody was so disappointed with it. And that might have ended things, or at least buttoned it up in some way or another. Yeah. But that one had Mandy Patinkin in it.
Yeah. No, it was Dead Like Me is a little depressing.
A little bit.
So good.
still like it was a dark comedy because of its subject matter, and it definitely carried some weight to its tones. But again, very quirky in how basically the premise is. And I'm just gonna say basically. Every time I start a sentence, I'm gonna say basically.
Basically, what he's saying is that basically he's gonna
basically always basically. It's just basically basic. Basic. But no, the premise of this one was and this is a spoiler, not spoiler. Beginning of the first episode, this girl gets hit by a falling toilet seat.
Yep.
Or not even a toilet seat, a toilet. I think like what a space shuttle deploys its garbage, and then it comes crashing through the atmosphere and lands on this girl in the middle of New York City and kills her. And then when she dies, she doesn't pass on. She has to become a reaper. So now it is her job to go around and touch people who have been marked for death, which her boss, Mandy Patinkin, named Rube, gets on little Post-it notes, and then he passes them out to the reapers, and they go and reap their souls. And it's her kind of trying to find her place in this new role, but she still lives around her living family, and she doesn't want to do this. She doesn't want this role, but she has to, otherwise suffer the consequences. Right. And it is so much fun. The universe that they built in this show was very fun, and it should have taken off.
I mean, it has that cult following.
It does. It has a very cult following. Like, honestly, the people who saw it loved it.
Well, I was gonna say something, but I'm gonna let you keep doing your list, because there was one that my wife brought up and I brought up, and then we were like, yeah, that's gonna be on Jay's list.
Well, let me just go ahead and say it, because I think I know what you're talking about. Better Off Ted?
No.
Oh, okay.
Is there a certain sci-fi show on your list?
There is a sci-fi show on my... Oh, Firefly?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't on my list.
Wow.
I left it off and... Like, it's on my list in my heart. But we talk about it so much, they know. Yeah. And everybody knows. Like, that is just the sore spot in every geek's heart. Firefly.
That's fair.
It got a better movie than Dead Like Me did.
Yeah.
So, like, yes, it should have taken off. It should have gotten a second season. They should have just let it do what it's going to do. But, you know, the producers fucked it by airing them out of order and whatever.
A lot of silly things. Okay. No, Better Off Ted. Fantastic call. I'm grabbing you a graphic, and then I'm going to do the thing that I do every episode. One of these.
Oh, goodness.
You could talk about the show. I know what you're talking about. I'll come right back in.
Do you want to pee before we start recording?
I do.
And then during recording, we'll give you a catheter.
Well, you want to know what it really is? It's because I have a beer with dinner, and then I immediately hop on this call and have another beer.
Okay, fine.
And beer it moves through me, man.
Okay. Look, all I'm saying is just go.
Yeah.
Just go.
Better Off Ted.
Better Off Ted. All I'm saying is that when we were not doing live, like, you walking off, it doesn't matter, he's not listening, but him walking off and going pee, it's fine because we can edit that stuff. But now people are live and we got it going live and you're watching, and now we just look unprofessional. Then again, we started off unprofessionally. So Better Off Ted was another very quirky show. I dig quirk. I don't know why. It's... You build a show around a bunch of very original characters, an original setting, original ideas, and it just produces gold. I guess that's everybody's goal, is originality. But Better Off Ted was about a bunch of people who worked in an R&D lab creating God knows what kinds of devices and products and et cetera, et cetera. And the one guy, Ted, he was the everyday guy. Oh, look, he's coming back.
I like the part where the guy, they go, Eagle, and he goes, ah!
You're thinking of Scrubs.
No, they do that in this too.
They do it after the dude gets cryogenically frozen.
Yeah.
He develops what he calls the eagle screech, but nobody says eagle. It's just he'll be having a conversation and then start screaming, and then jump back into the conversation.
I also, I actually really love Portia de Rossi in this.
Portia
de Rossi is so good in this.
Oh, she kills it.
Me and Eduardo from 5D Podcast fame, Mondays at 7.
There it is. If you're playing the home game, take a shot.
To this day, we will still end random sentences with penisly speaking. And that's exactly where this comes from, is from Better Off Ted. Or the, what does it taste like? Despair?
Despair. That was the best. I was just about to mention that one.
Yeah,
Go watch the show. I'm not going to ruin anything for you. But no, it was fun. It was just these people. It wasn't like The Office. In so much as it wasn't like they didn't have like the
confessional booth.
Confessional, that's the word. They didn't have the confessionals or anything like that. It wasn't like made to look like a documentary, but it is like The Office in that it all takes place in this one office complex, this one company, and just kind of how they break apart their day, creating
Viridian
science
dynamics.
Madness. But yeah.
And I love the Viridian Dynamics commercials. They would often cut to a commercial and then come back to a Viridian Dynamic commercial. And it was always these we swear we're not an evil super corporation.
Right.
Definitely a super evil super corporation.
Yes. It was fun. And they did 2 seasons, but I don't remember if they actually wrapped it up. That's what I thought. Okay. It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
100% deserves a comeback. The cast is on point. The writing was on point. Yeah, no, good call. Good call.
So I got 2 left. I'm going to whip this one out really quick because you know it. And I think we might have mentioned it last week, but Daybreak.
Yeah.
You didn't like the ending.
I loved the show until the end.
I was okay with the ending. It was a little weak, but it wasn't awful. It was, spoiler alert, backstabby, which was a surprise. And, they took it in a very different direction.
That's actually what I didn't like. It felt very out of character for that character just to suddenly meh.
Yeah, it was very sudden. But, I would have liked a season 2 to maybe explain it or, fix it or course correct or what have you. It was a fun take on the zombie apocalypse.
It was a zombie apocalypse show with a lot of style.
Yes. The premise was basically zombie virus takes over, but it only affects the adults.
Yeah.
So all of the kids who weren't, killed by other means are still running around doing their thing. And
which is why the
it was Mad
dumbest
Max
premise
with
works.
kids.
But it's also why the dumbest premise in the show works. Why haven't they all just killed each other? Well, all the kids agreed no guns. And that's the kind of thing that only kids could get away with. Is
totally
that's breaking the rules. Oh shit. Yeah, no, he's right.
Yeah.
It's the only time that would work.
Absolutely.
The show did have one other minus for me personally. And did get over it enough to watch the show.
Okay.
Features famous murderer Matthew Broderick.
Oh, yes, of course.
Who I do not like as a person.
I know you don't. But he did do a good character.
Sure.
He played it well.
You know who could have also done a good job in that role?
Anybody who's not a murderer?
Is literally anyone who didn't kill someone with their car and then not go to jail for it.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm not taking that away from you. You're right. If you want to make this uncomfortable for everybody, but
you just became the Big Lebowski meme. You're right, but you're a fucking asshole.
You're not wrong, Walter. You're just an asshole.
Yeah. No, so the show was really.
Question. I should buy a boat.
You do? You don't? You do? You do? You don't? You do? You don't?
It's okay.
No, the show was fun. The show
we just
was...
make a random Corky Romano reference.
We did. The show is really fun. Just that ending left it. I disliked that ending enough that when it got the cancellation, I went, "Yep."
Bummer, man. Yeah, I thought it was a turn, but I thought it made things intriguing.
Honestly,
because everything without that, it would have wrapped up too happy.
No, I would have said I would have gone cliche and killed her.
Yeah, but that's cliche, man.
Yeah, I still would have done it. I feel like it was I feel like it was the correct decision. In fact, I wouldn't have just killed her. I would have killed the other love interest that was developing, so he can start over from square one emotionally in season 2.
Which one was the other love interest?
She's the one who comes in late. She's from the other group of survivors.
Oh, right. Yes. I know who you're talking about.
I would have killed both of them. If not them killing each other, I would have had something happen that kills both of them so that the character has... Because
God forbid the show have a strong female lead.
No. Bullshit. The little girl is the strong female lead.
That's true. No, she was badass.
And I'm told that this show had 3 different trailers that would autoplay on Netflix depending on your watch preferences.
No way.
Most of the people I know got the main character, the white boy skater.
Uh-huh.
Eduardo got the gay black kid and was very insulted. And I was the only one I knew who got the little girl psycho genius who just likes to blow shit up.
Because you watch so much anime.
I actually don't. Brooke watches way more than I do.
No, you watch like so much anime and teen drama, they thought you were a little girl.
I'll take that. But here's what I'll get at. Killing both of them, that character was his only other emotional rock, but we know that they can't be in love because ew. So it can take this really great tone, and finally, a character cannot fall in love with the female lead.
That's
and instead,
fair.
actually just have a friendship and like an actual best friend relationship with this character who has so much opposite him, but he's left with nothing. He has no more tie. That's the better ending.
I like that. That's fair.
Give me Daybreak Season 2.
There you go. That's fair. I like it. Way to take it back.
Yeah. We're taking it back.
We're taking it back. Last one up, and I don't know if you've heard of this one. I'm willing to bet you haven't.
Your favorite porn series.
Oh. Well, let me type this up really quick. No.
I can really give you a few pages on this.
Threshold. So Threshold.
Is it a show?
It's a show. It had I can't remember their names right now. Carla Gugino, Rob Benedict, Brent Spiner was in it.
I feel like you're just putting syllables together. Oh my God, is that Peter Dinklage?
And I was will you stop cutting me off and I will finish the synopsis and everything. Jeez. Yes. Peter Dinklage is also in it.
Is this that one that ends exactly like this? So you gotta start spoiling endings to everything you talk about.
Jeez, man. Yeah, so Threshold.
I do know who that chick is. You said her name and I was like, that's not a person, but it's absolute. Just say the girl from Son-in-Law and Peter Dinklage, and then nobody else who matters. Oh, and Brent Spiner. Just say Peter Dinklage, the robot from Star Trek, and the girl from Son-in-Law all had a baby, and that's what this show is about. It's like there's no good image for the show, so we're getting that one. It's like 2 guys that I'm make up what this show's about. This show is like 2 guys, a girl, in a pizza place, but it takes place in space. And they sell space pizza, and Peter Dinklage plays the pizza. Weirdly, Brent Spiner still just playing Data. It's just more Data. The worst part is you'll watch this show.
I will. I hate you so much right now because you won't let me fucking talk. But I will watch the hell out of this show. 2 guys and a girl in a pizza planet.
Peter Dinklage is just a sentient pizza. It's like, stop killing us! And then they cut him up and they sell him to people. My pepperonis.
Oh, man. Yeah, they call him Little Caesar.
It's well done.
Thank you. But what Threshold is really about...
Wait, you're saying it was wrong?
Jesus Christ, dude, shut up!
Good times.
So, God, like, anything I say will just be a step down from what we've just been doing. But I have to. Got to carry on. The show must go on. So this aliens invade. The government catches wind about it, and they assemble this team of people, of scientists and hypothetical, strategists to figure out how to fix this problem before it goes out of. So like the three stages of invasion are threshold, foothold, and stronghold. You're at the threshold, you've gained a foothold, and now you have established presence. So there were supposed to be 3 seasons of this show. The first one being Threshold, and it was just them trying to figure out how to combat this alien virus that is kind of taking over people's brains before it starts infecting everyone. It was really fun. It was I know why it didn't get picked up for a second season. Just say that right off the bat. But it was a cool way to take an alien invasion and look at how the government might actually try to stop it. Cool. It wasn't all Independence Day, like, oh, let's assemble the army and like take them on or whatever else. It's like no, like what if these aliens were coming in through the back door? You know what I mean?
Like they so often do.
Like, no, like what if they were sneaking in? What if they were, and the government knew about it? What would they do? And Carla, is it Carla Gugino? Carla Gugino. She
girl from Son-in-Law.
The girl from Son-in-Law. She was also in Sin City, and I think isn't she married to Antonio Banderas? No, that's
that.
Oh goodness. No, this is gonna bother me.
Patches over.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Her job with the government, she's a, I don't remember what her position was, but no, she wrote the book. Like, hey, in this hypothetical situation, what would we do? So she's the one that wrote this playbook, and they're like, hey, so we have to talk to you about your playbook. She's like, why? Well, because they're here. So like that's how she gets roped into this whole ordeal and whatever else. And it was fun. It was worth it. It wasn't amazing, but it was worth a watch, and it was worth a season 2. Like that would have been really cool to see. And all the character, like, I mean, you heard the cast. Yeah. They did a great job. And it was cool seeing Brent Spiner. Like Brent Spiner kind of played a dick. Like he didn't want to be there. He just wanted his paycheck and he just wanted to go home. Like, leave me the hell alone. He was the antithesis of Data. Okay. And Brent Spiner is a great character actor.
Brent Spiner is great.
Absolutely. But it was cool. I mean, so he's done other things that aren't Data, but this was very anti-Data.
Sure.
Which was just it tickled a spot. It was kind of cool to see.
All right.
Yeah. So Threshold.
I still think it has legs.
If Peter Dinklage is a pizza?
Is a sentient pizza, and then Brent Spiner plays Data again, and then they all work in a space pizza place.
Why don't you write that show and I'll get it sent out to them, okay?
I like it.
Yeah.
It's still going to be called Threshold, and people be like, why is it called Threshold? Like, that's just the name of the pizza place. It's just called Threshold.
Nobody understands why.
Yeah. The owner's really eccentric, but we never see him.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We never explain it.
Yeah.
You're just going to have to
We'll fix it in post.
We'll fix it in post.
All right.
Talk about your honorable mention, since we only got, 5 minutes left.
Honorable mention.
Honorable.
Gangsta.
Speaking of Brent Spiner.
Gangsta was manga turned anime, and I don't believe either one was ever finished. I don't think either one is going to be finished.
Bummer.
But was actually just really fun. Like all anime, it's got a plot that's like just too complex to explain without sounding like an insane person, but kind of trying to nutshell it. It was kind of the opposite of your typical shonen anime. It wasn't like a young hero rising to the occasion. It was a bunch of seasoned scumbags justifying their place and surviving.
Okay.
Like, it's literally
a bunch of Japanese pirates.
A gigolo mercenary and his superhuman mercenary buddy kind of defend their slum against the greater slumminess of the world. So they're scumbags, but they're scumbags who are like, don't be scumbags in our neighborhood.
Gotcha.
We're scumbags here. You're scumbags somewhere else.
Okay. So it's a turf war.
And again, like all anime, that's a gross oversimplification because there's nuance and all like anime's complex, and 90% of animes by the time you're halfway through season 1 are about a different plot than what you started off with doing.
Right, for sure.
So that was that one. And then the other honorable
like Yu Yu Hakusho,
probably even less heard of than Gangsta, but Zombie Powder. It is actually a manga never turned into an anime, created by the creator of Bleach. Yes. Who then got stuck in a hole of doing Bleach forever and couldn't do other things, so Zombie Powder was canceled. But Zombie Powder was kind of this weird, again, like supernatural manga, kind of like Bleach, but all revolving around this mystic zombie powder that could bring someone back from the dead, which, as you can imagine, is a very fought over and sought after thing. And like one of the big things is the main character had a chainsaw blade, so it was already an overly long anime sword, but it was also a chainsaw. It was really cool, and it just did not get to do a long enough run to like really solidify how dope it actually was. But yeah, like it was good enough for an honorable mention. That is Zombie Powder.
Yes, I've heard of that one, and I've been wanting to delve into it, but
probably gonna be a little hard to find. You're probably gonna have to find rips or bootlegs.
For sure.
Yeah.
Was that was it? That was your only two?
Yeah,
those weren't on my list.
Firefly, obviously, honorable mention, you know, like the famously jilted show.
Yes.
Yeah, Heroes, probably famously...
Heroes got an ending. I mean, it wasn't good, but it got an ending. Like, they got their 4 seasons, they had their shot, and they dropped the ball.
Yeah, the producers kind of fucked it. It should have been an anthology series.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, season 2, it really started going down right... Like, season 1 was beautiful and perfect and fine, and season 2 was... It just started going downhill right off the bat.
Season 2 existed. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Everything okay?
I was just taking a quick look at my comics to see if there were any honorable mentions, and I know I was looking at Lullaby, but I didn't actually pull the comic out. And not only is the comic pulled out, but one appears to now... Oh, maybe it's just slightly smaller and hidden in shadow. But I didn't pull it out, and now it's pulled out, so that's weird.
Maybe you put it into Twilight.
Maybe I put it into Twilight. I'm just trying to take a quick glance and see if there were any other series, and I was like, oh man, yeah, there's no more of that. And it definitely didn't get an ending. But I think in comics, usually, you can get an endpoint out there and just end them up. Maybe Trees didn't get an ending. But I don't know that.
No, Trees are still around.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Now, Trees is I only have the first one. I know there's at least 2. I don't know if there's more than that. But it's basically one day these alien ships kind of land, but they're like these ridiculously tall, building-sized trees.
Okay.
And then they just don't do anything for years. And nobody can cut into them. Nobody can figure anything about them out. And it's just sort of all about, like, what the fuck are these things?
Like, they just showed up and they're here now, and like they're not hurting, they're not helping. Like, okay, we'll just live around them.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds fun.
It's pretty good. I do need to pick up more of Trees. I can't believe I only have one. Can't believe I only have one tree.
I need to get some more trees. I can't believe I only have one tree.
Shut up. Now looking at my series, I think most everything, at least that I collect, either was dumb and didn't deserve an ending and is not unceremoniously canceled, or gets an ending. Yeah.
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 Well, you want to call it a day?
I think we should.
Alrighty. Well, everybody, thank you very much for joining us on our weekly ramblings. My name is Jay. You can find me online, www.jbarkersvoice.com. You can also find me on Facebook and Twitter at jbarkersvoice.
I'm the other one, and just hear me out. I'm saying they work at a pizza place, but it's in space. You can find me on the 5D podcast, Mondays at 7. 5D, in 5D Productions, youtube.tv/ I got it right here. I pulled it up this time. /5D podcast. Twitch.tv / Metagame Network. Streaming Smorgasbord Tuesdays, 7, twitch.tv. It might be on YouTube too. I don't know. I'm not on that show, but it's affiliated with this channel. The other stuff that we might do in the future, maybe.
Why are you slipping into Fred the Guard? Was it Fred or was it George? The security guard from Animaniacs. Yeah.
His name might as well have been Lum, for all I know. I don't know.
Lum.
Yeah, it was Lum.
Or why not? Okay, bye.
Bye.